we segue to a man who is not at all divisive. Now we segue to a man who is not at all love him or hate him as a director. He's M. Night Shyamalan and his new movie, Old, which I would even consider this to be pretty fairly anticipated. I would say highly anticipated. I remember when the trailer premiered during the Bucs-Chiefs Super Bowl earlier this year, and I didn't know it was happening, and I'm just like, oh, wow, M. Night's got a new movie. His first new movie since Glass, and probably his tightest story, I would say, since The Village. Because if you don't know, the story concerns a group of about 3 families on vacation who wind up getting taken to this little beach enclave to like avoid the tourists. And it's a group of 3 separate families, and they all go there, and then they slowly realize that they're aging rapidly. The kids disappear for a couple hours and then come back, and they've like already went through puberty. These like 6 and 10, however old they were, kids. And everybody starts aging rapidly. The kids start aging into adults, and then even scarier, I would argue, the adults start aging into grandparents. And then they start to get older, and they start to have vision problems, dementia, and so on and so forth. And like any great M. Night movie, there's a twist. We won't ruin it on the show. But can I just say, I'll start by this, and then I'll throw it over to you, Joe. The thing about Old is that, and M. Night movies in general, is that now, I don't know how many you two have seen. I want to say, I think I've seen all of them, with the exception of like his Rosie O'Donnell movie, Wide Awake, which he did when he was a youth. I didn't watch that one, but I've seen most of M. Night's movies. But the thing about M. Night's movies is that you anticipate the twist. It's become a running pop culture joke that he has a grand twist. I remember Robot Chicken parodied it. That's how long M. Night, yes, you remember that. That's how long M. Night has been making twists in his movies. Now, the problem with that is that the whole movie, you're watching it, and you're watching it thinking, what's the catch? Where's the hint? Where's that? And number one, it almost makes you miss what's right in front of you, and just in terms of the movie at hand. And number two, in the case of Old, I'm not going to lie, and we're not going to spoil the twist here. I would have rather not known that. I got wrapped up in this sort of idyllic location, which winds up where time is completely meaningless and just progresses at such an exorbitant speed that I was like, and the sort of ramifications that come with that, both physically and mentally, and just, overarching, that by the time the twist came around, I was like, I would have rather not known that. Like, I would have rather it would have just been what it was and not had that twist. I have some other issues with this movie, but that was the one that left me, especially just, I feel like the cold, clinical way it sort of rushed through the twist at the end. That's where it left me. I'm not saying we need to entirely dance around the twist here, but that's my immediate thing when people ask me, how was Old? Joe, I'll throw it over to you.
For me, M. Night Shyamalan movies have been going downhill for like a long time. Ever since I think Signs was the last one I saw that I actually thought was good. And then after that, Village to me was okay, and it just goes down. I wasn't crazy about The Visit. I wasn't crazy about Split, and I hated Glass. I was really disappointed with how Glass it turned out. So his track record for me, his batting like average, hasn't been the best. And unfortunately, I got to say, Old is another one of these movies that like I was just like not. I wasn't with this movie for for probably most of it. Yeah, actually. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, because my ratings not going to reflect the sentence I just said. To me, this movie it has a great opening act with this family who is coming to visit like a resort getaway that they won through a pharmaceutical sweepstakes. And they go to this getaway, and they're having like, this like big family vacation, and there's just some underlying things. The husband and wife, who are played by, I should have IMDb open to help me out with this real quick.
Gail Garcia Bernal and Vicky Krieps.
Thank you very much. They are, to me, those two are the best actors in this movie. I don't know about you guys, but to me, Guy and Priska, not only were they played by the two best actors, I think, of the whole film, they were the two characters I actually cared about the most, and their kids as well. I was actually getting really involved with the story throughout this opening act. I was like, all right, maybe M. Night will actually like rebound it for me right here. It wasn't until we got to the beach that actually this is where the film just kind of comes to a grinding halt for me. Because all these people who kind of felt like characters at least in the opening act, now become caricatures and stereotypes for the rest of the movie. And everything that I felt was being set up at the start is being ditched now. There's literally like dialogue in this movie. This has always been an issue with M. Night Shyamalan's dialogue. But like the way people talk in his movies, especially the later movies, it feels like humans who actually are secretly aliens trying to blend in among us. Like there's literally like a woman has a seizure, and this guy's just like, "Don't worry, everybody, I'm a doctor, I can solve this." And the husband of this wife goes up, he's like, "Hello, my name is Joshua, I'm a nurse, this is my wife, she has seizures from time to time." Like, it's just like, is no one like reacting like, "Oh, yeah, no, thank you, thank God you're here." You're like, "I'm a nurse, thank you for helping me." Like, you know, like, it's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, I understand, like, if she has seizures from time to time, you're probably used to it, but it's just like, still, like, you're on vacation, you want to relax. And it's just like, the movie kind of has this tone throughout the whole thing. Is like, they literally discover a dead body in like the first 30 minutes, and everybody's so nonchalant about it. They're just like, "Oh, there's a dead body over there. Kids, go play over there. We'll come find you later." Like, you know, it's just like, every time something like horrible is happening, everybody feels so nonchalant, doesn't really feel like a human being actually being in this scenario. Even the whole thing of them turning old, I was like, damn, the only people I'm really feeling anything from is our two main characters, Guy and Priska. Like, everybody else, I'm just kind of like, I'm not really feeling anything from anybody else here. And then I'll say this, and then we can bounce back and forth after Dom has his like opening. To me, I actually did like the twist, though. If there's one thing that's just like, the movie started out strong, and to me the movie at least ended strong-ish. Like, it wasn't a mind-blowing twist, but it's like, I wouldn't even call it a twist, actually. Like, I see, you know, we always call it a twist because it's M. Night, but in this movie, I would say it's more of a reveal. And I actually liked what it revealed and actually turned out to be. I was like, okay, no, this is actually kind of cool. I actually like this idea. Granted, I don't know, I'm not trying to say much about it, but I don't know if it's the best idea to have this kind of twist reveal thing when we have pharmaceutical companies making vaccines out there. But hey, that's just me. Anyways, overall, though, I honestly did not enjoy this movie. I was really let down, too, because like Steve mentioned, I saw this during the Super Bowl commercials, and like, even though I said I didn't like Split, I actually thought for the most part it was good, especially James McAvoy's performance, and I was like, okay, maybe this will finally be it. Because like, the whole premise of it is so good, and there's some great body horror here too that they do with the premise of it as well, with, you know, you aging really quickly on this beach. Also factors into how much your body heals over time or develops things that are in you, whether it be tumors or, you know, like dementia. And it's just like, wow, you know, this is actually some really great body horror. But right now I'll throw it off to Dom, and then we could take our intermission break.
I just want to say congratulations to M. Night Shyamalan for discovering, you know, whichever medical dictionary he found. And he was having I can just imagine him on his computer. I'm assuming he wrote it on a computer, like just writing it like, oh yeah, tumors, they can grow. Yeah.
Boy, this WebMD is a great resource.
How fast do scars heal?
There was a I'll talk more about this after the intermission, but I'll just say this. There was a brilliant tweet of the week. I should start having this on the show. There was a tweet of the week where somebody tweeted, it went viral on Twitter. He goes, M. Night Shyamalan's a type of person that goes in the pool and sits there for an hour and then looks at his fingers and goes, "Holy shit." and then 2 years later we get a movie. Like,
dude, this movie's a functional mess, bro. Like, the dialogue here is so stiff and wooden and so goddamn like expositional. I'm like, dude, we're 2/3 into this movie, I think, and like, you're still explaining shit, and like, there's no sense of subtlety whatsoever. Everything is surface level, and this is camp, man. There is a level of camp here, and like,
it's not even the fun type of camp, though. Like,
honestly, though, I will get into this. Like, it is actually grew into a fun type of camp once I got into that mode. But Joe, I'm really glad you brought up that scene very early on, not a spoiler, where a woman has a seizure, and it's like, damn, you think they'd be, you know, the husband would be reacting more to this. I know that it's probably been part of their lives for so long, but I would think, nah, dude, by like the 10th or 11th time something is happening, like I got numb to it and I started like cracking up like internally. Actually, honestly, there were like teenagers in the movie with me, and at first they were annoying. But like by the time the like 20th thing, I was like, oh, they're growing older, or like the shtick is like becoming evident, you know? It's just like, because like I swear, a good 40 minutes or an hour like of this movie is just people running up and down the beach, being surprised and scared. Like, really, don't like. If you really sit back and think about this movie, like if you haven't watched this movie yet, watch this movie and then walk out of that movie thinking, yeah, that was just an hour of people like running up and down the beach, like being surprised to the same thing. And like, I understand what shock is. I understand if I were in that situation, I probably wouldn't.
But they like run to the one corner and then they run to the other. Then they hang out in the center. Then they swim and then they come back, and like, because it's not a very big setting.
No, it's literally that for like an hour. I swear to freaking God. And like people were cracking up by the end of this movie. And like there are things to appreciate here. And I think we'll get into that. We'll take our break very soon. But I just cannot state enough how functionally this was a mess. I think from the beginning, this was real stiff. Cause like, for whatever reason, my mind in the very opening where it showed the main family like going into the resort, I'm thinking like, oh, is this gonna be like The Impossible starring Nicole Kidman and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and like it's like tsunami that Ewan McGregor. Thank you. Just Ewan McGregor. I knew you would remind me. I think Nicole Kidman, right? No,
I believe so.
Naomi Watts? I get those
No, Penelope Cruz. Penelope Cruz.
No, not Penelope Cruz.
No, is it Naomi Watts? No, maybe it is Naomi Watts. It is Naomi Watts. That's the tsunami movie.
Yeah.
That's the tsunami.
It is Naomi Watts. My bad. I get Naomi Watts and Nicole Kidman.
I think Penelope Cruz. I don't know why she's on my mind.
That's fine. They're all beautiful. But
she's running through my mind. That's a fine idea.
Tom Holland was he was the kid in
He was the kid in that movie. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's a better movie, so go watch that. But, the opening, the exposition to, well, the first of many expositions in Old, I thought was like going to be like an impossible ordeal. It's like, oh, is this like the family survive? Like they have to endure this while coming together. And it actually kind of wound up being that towards the end, but not when you have this massive chunk of just camp and like messy dialogue, constant not like talking instead of showing. They're showing all right, but you're just talking over it, and there's no sense of subtlety. And it's like, I understand you're trying to, okay, yes, this secret island or secret resort where they have like, it has like hidden properties and it reveals the monster inside of us, or you know, it's like, it shows like, yeah, we that's what science fiction is. We know, we get it, M. Night. I'm sorry. And it sucks because this actually had the potential to be really cool. I stand by that the setup, the shtick, is actually a really good idea.
It is.
Absolutely. He's in a Rod Serling state of mind, like Twilight Zone.
This could very much be a really, really good Twilight Zone episode. But like, unfortunately, M. Night Shyamalan recently has had a record, well, an up and down record.
Yeah,
I'll give him that, an up and down record. Yeah, of like just like kind of whiffing on things, like for like The Happening, which is just camp to the extreme. And it's like, okay, you kind of had something here where the planet is fighting back in a very subtle way, but when you have Mark Wahlberg going, no, and it's like, oh no.
I'm gonna be sorry,
I'll stop there. It's just an hour of running up and down.
But you're so right about the premise, because like I feel like he wanted to make a really good drama about, like, you know, in your life, if you let little things and just like all this stuff get in your way in life, it will life can come by. Life goes by like that. You can really let little things like being racist, your marriage, like, you know, issues with like small issues with marriage, big issues with marriage, like, you know, really take into account what is at hand here. Like, it's like, wow, that's actually like a really great message with this horror theme of being stuck in a place that ages you so quick. There's just no good drama here. They're like, nobody, I didn't care about anybody here. And it's just like, the wrap up, the final arc with the main two parents, like that, I at least kind of had an emotional reaction to it. I didn't like cry or anything, but I was just like, oh damn. But that was like the way they wrapped it up. It was really nice. It made me actually go, oh man, like that was a beautiful send off. Honestly, you did good there. But all the other characters, they're just there to get killed and turn old and get killed in cool ways. I'll give him that. He killed them in cool ways.